specifically music, we're beginning to lose a lot of ground. Whenever levies, funding, et cetera, fail nationally, or whenever budgets are short, they're tending to take what are considered the fine arts, or in some people's mind, the frills, art, music, PE, and other courses, and say, okay, we can't afford everything, so we're going to cut these, which really takes the quality of the education and decreases the overall quality considerably. I think it has, because there's so much pressures on the teachers, on the school system to reach a particular level of test scores, that all the focus is going in that area and forgetting about the overall well-rounded education of a student. But it was one of those places where I just felt like I belonged. And it has allowed me over the course, well, this is my 38th or 39th year of teaching, it has allowed me to really develop my creativity, develop my own personality, and to express some emotions that nothing else would give me the opportunity to do so. I think for a lot of artists, their paintings, their sculpture, their pottery, their whatever, gives them a way to express themselves, and I think that's where music and the arts come in. It's the emotional part of the brain. It's the right side of the brain that so many people don't use the way they should be.
And it's just something that it's my job, but it's another outlet for me to just a stress reliever and kind of just to get away sometimes.
Now my music education majors and I are doing a combined research project on why people discontinue study in ensembles, to try to figure out why. Is it because their programs are being eliminated?
They may stop playing an instrument, but I don't think anybody loses their interest in music, because they may stop playing an instrument because the music that they're having to play is not to their liking. Let's say if they're seriously into jazz and they have to play marching band all the time, well, they aren't going to be real happy. And a lot of kids, unless they're really into music, don't like to put the practice time in. Because the only way you get good, you don't get good by playing concerts, you get good by practicing, and that applies to anything that you do.
Students are here for a number of reasons. Some of them are here because their friends are here. Some of them are here just because they really love to play their instrument. And some of them are here because their parents, this is something that maybe they did and they, would really like them to do the same thing. But I think, overall, if we take a poll of all the students, it's something that they probably couldn't do without.
Public school and private school parochial students have so many things to choose from these days. I think there's a lot of conflicts with schedules. Sometimes I think they lose interest. Sometimes I think it's a time commitment issue.
So I think, the athletic end is getting the kids at a much younger age than they were previously. So when the kids were starting to learn a musical instrument, now they're getting involved in athletics. So in 4th or 5th or 6th grade, when they're offered the chance to learn an instrument, they're too busy.
There are students that are going out of their way to work their schedule around so they can still fit the arts in. But I do, I think that we can only stretch them so many different ways.
Is just conflicts of personality with the teachers and so on. And those things are the things that our research project is actually trying to figure out, to come up with the real reasons why kids discontinue, so maybe we can help turn some programs around.
I like playing music in school, but it seems to me, for kids that have braces, it's more of a challenge. There's been different directors I've had for band, or teachers, I guess. And some of them will look upon teaching us different ways, some being a little more stricter, trying to get their point across.
Well, there's a couple reasons. One was because I thought that study hall was a better thing because of, just classes are harder and stuff. And 2 is because of our director.
Some kids do think that. They think that it's nerdy to be in band or whatever, and they act like they don't like it, even though I'm sure somewhere they do actually like it. They're just not telling the truth about that.
Oh gosh, yeah. Influences everybody's life.
How?
Behavior, mostly. The right type of music, or the right type of poetry, or the right type of play, the right musical can make your day go a lot better.
I've seen kids really blossom when they found that music is something that allows them to really express themselves. Sometimes it's the saving grace. Emotionally, it can be the saving grace. It can be a way that instead of retreating into themselves, they get into the expression of music. It's a way that they can express sadness or sorrow or happiness or all of those different emotions. So it changes kids, adults as well, in many, many, many ways.
I'd say it's a pretty decent part of my life, you know. Just big positive side, great way to express myself, stuff like that.
I feel like whenever you get to play music, you go into a new world. You're not sitting at a desk writing papers, writing in answers like in math or reading. You get to experience something new. You're making music, which isn't like writing out a math problem or something.
Unfortunately, with administration, with boards of education, sometimes they can't see the value of music as a separate entity like they should. The emotional development, the creativity development, the development of the right side of the brain, all those kinds of issues.
There's emotional things. You can communicate your emotions through music, which, you know, other subjects that you can't. And it's just another way for students to really, you know, to express themselves, where in other subjects, you know, that's not really possible. Instead of just stating, you know, taking in facts and
reiterating them.
Yeah, spitting them back out, you're taking what's on the music that's on the sheet, and you're working as a group to communicate that together and to really, you know, perform and show what the composer was trying to say through the dots on the paper. We all kind of take it for granted whenever it's there, but whenever, you know, those opportunities to play in an ensemble or to perform, or even just to, you know, sit down and play through some new jazz band charts, you know, when that doesn't exist anymore, you know, I think we all feel, you know, an emptiness inside.
So the study of rhythm in music is a total study of rhythmic of mathematic ratios. It's all mathematically based, 100% mathematically based. The study of pitch is the physics of sound and acoustics. It's all those things that we can tie together, and music encompasses all of those areas.
Subjects in schools should be taught to music. It's amazing how much you can remember when you can remember lyrics from 20 years ago, but you can't remember some of the things you learned from 20 years ago. In my opinion, and if a lot of things, especially language arts, instead of sitting there making people rotely repeat language, if it was set to music, I think people would learn it better. Almost anything that you can learn, if you set it to music and could sing it, you tend to learn it better and remember it better.
Yes. There are people that are amazing at playing their instruments, and that's what they want to do. But then there's others that try it, and they just don't want to do it. So I think it's...
So it's something you're saying that you have to try it first to see if you like it.
But as we sadly start our journeys far apart, a part of every heart will linger here in the halls of our Northwestern, where we lived and learned to know that through the years we'll see you in the sweet afterglow.